very, very jittery because, of course, there could be this military action in Syria.
Yes, that's right, Stuart. And Asian markets really picking up where Wall Street left off in its Tuesday session. This Wednesday in Asia, we've seen the markets down across the board. The main indices off by, 1.5% there. Only the Shanghai Composite very recently managing to climb into some positive territory. Concerns over what any action in Syria could mean for energy supplies and, of course, the oil price. And we've seen that rising. This is one of the oil benchmark prices we use. Brent crude, this is what happened this year. Now it's been going up, got up to $117. In fact, last few minutes it's just slipped back below that $117 level.
Now, lots of French business news today, isn't there? The first one's bad news, in fact, on the jobless total.
That's right. Now, it's been for 27 months, in fact, we've been giving bad news on the French jobless total because it's been rising throughout that period and no change for July. The figure up 0.2%. That means an extra 6,300 people added to the jobless total, which is now up to a record just shy of 3.29 million. Two bright spots, if you like, in terms of the rate that the rise is going up at. That seems to be slowing down slightly, plus a fall in the number of young people out of work by 0.8%. Well, this economist explains the problem in the French labour market.
We are in an economy which is destroying jobs, roughly 100 to 150,000 per year. Then you have more young people coming into the market, then there are older people leaving it. And when you have such a large active population and an economy destroying jobs, unemployment rises.
Also here in France, more details on how the government is planning to plug, if you like, this big hole in the pension fund.
That's right. The funding gap that's going to hit 20 billion euros by 2020. Well, how is it going to be fixed? We've just had 2 days of talks between the government, business leaders, union bosses as well. Well, William Hildebrandt has more.
The Prime Minister called it major structural reform, unveiling a plan to rescue a pension scheme forecast to be 20 billion euros in debt by 2020.
There is no alternative but to extend the period over which people make pension contributions.
The socialist government ducked raising the legal age of retirement. Instead, the plan raises the current contribution period of 41.5 years to 43 years by 2035. It means most people will have to work beyond the current minimum age of 62, a move trade unions were against.
We're not opposed to contributing more per month, but we refuse to contribute over a longer period.
French businesses had campaigned strongly against increases in their contributions or taxes, though they and workers will pay more into the pension scheme every month.
Everyone must contribute. It's normal for me to have to pay taxes. The state gives us a lot, so when we work, we should have to contribute. So there's something for later on.
The European Commission has pressured France to get its pension scheme down from the current 14% of GDP to the EU-mandated rate of 3%. But the new measures ignore many of the Commission's proposals. Trade unions have already dismissed the plan, which will be officially tabled September 18th, and said they will go ahead with protests in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, William Hildebrandt reporting. Well, let's get some of the day's company news now. And the owner of the Sofitel and Ibis hotel chains says that profits fell in the first half of the year. Accor said the poor state of the European economy was to blame. The French company had already announced on Tuesday that Sébastien Bazin will be taking over the running of the company.
The American bank JP Morgan could face a new fine of $6 billion. That's according to a report in the Financial Times, in fact. The bank's accused of mis-selling securities to mortgage companies in the run-up to the financial crisis.
And the US retailer Walmart is opening up its health insurance to same-sex partners of its staff. The company, following their many other big US companies that are already offering such benefits. Walmart employs 1.3 million people in the US. That makes it the country's biggest private sector employer.
Now, well-known saying, of course, that you can't put a price on friendship, but perhaps you can when it comes, in fact, to Facebook friends.
Yeah, it seems that way. I was pretty staggered by this, but it seems that some companies are looking at who you're friends with on Facebook when deciding your credit worthiness. Now, the theory is that if you are friends with people who are not paying back their loans, a little bit dodgy in that department, then perhaps you might not be a safe bet yourself. At least this is the policy of this company called Lendo, which says that it can comb through your friends to see if any red flags emerge.
Interesting. So I'm friends with you. Does that mean my credit worthiness has shot up? Then,
I was thinking the other way around. Maybe I should unfriend you, Stuart. I don't know.
Oh, that's
Tell me
nice.
more.
Matthew Warren, you can go away now. I might let you back in 55 minutes. We'll see. Matthew with the business on France 24. Now it's time for today's focus.